students, welcome back to my channel. This is Dipali, and in this video you will learn NumPy. Fine, as all of you know that NumPy is one of the component of Python. So before learning that, we are going to just discuss with some introduction part. So as you know that whatever we are learning, whatever we are doing, all the things is related to computer science. Fine. So what is computer science? As you know that computer science has always been a field of continuous evolution and regular advancement in terms of software efficiency, programming methodologies, and user interface and application, and so on. So basically, in a computer science, it is a field which is going to update the things according to the time. So whenever the time is going to pass, you will see different types of advancement, and these advancement can be in terms of your software efficiency. There can be change in programming techniques, there can be change in the user interfaces and applications, and so on. So if you will see the interfaces of the mobile phones, so evolution is there. Fine, earlier we are using black and white mobile phones, then keypad was there, and now we are using the touch phone mobile phones, in which our operating system is going to update every time. Right now Android 10 phones are coming. So computer field is also similar to like that. If you have seen that Windows 95 Vista, and then your Windows XP, then you are using Windows 7, Windows 8 and 10. So that means techniques and technologies are changing time to time. Fine. So what is the focus of this particular chapter? In this chapter you will learn the NumPy. What is NumPy? NumPy is a good tool and a complete library offered by Python for data analysis. So basically this NumPy is what? NumPy is your Python library. Fine. NumPy is basically a good tool, and it is a complete library offered by your Python for data analysis. So why we will use a NumPy? We will use it for analyzing our data. So right now we are going to discuss what is NumPy and some of the basic thing which we need to learn before moving ahead towards the programming. So let's start with the first slide. That is NumPy. What is NumPy? As we are discussing that it is a library or so and so on. See, the NumPy library is a popular library used for scientific computing application and is acronym for numerical Python. So basically NumPy is what? It is a library. Fine. And why we are using it? We are using for scientific computing applications, and the acronym which we are able to see, that is numerical Python. So NumPy is an open source module of Python that provides functions for mathematical computation on arrays and matrices. So basically why we are using NumPy? We are using NumPy for doing functionality which are related with your mathematical computations. Fine. In the mathematical computation, some things we are using over here in the programming, that is the concept of arrays and matrices. So array in general refer to a named group of homogeneous elements. What are arrays? That we will discuss within this slide. So basically right now it is refer to a named group of homogeneous elements. Homogeneous means similar type of elements. Fine. Homogeneous means hota hai similar type of element, in which if you are taking an integer type of array, that means you can take integer elements only. If you are creating character type of array, so in that particular array you can store the character values only. Fine. So it is a type of homogeneous element. So NumPy provides excellent n-dimensional array. ND array means hota hai n-dimensional array objects. Fine. So that means with the help of NumPy we can easily deal with the multi-dimensional array objects. Fine. The next thing and the main topic of this session is array. So students, you must have to know what is array, because it is one of the important concept in the programming that most of you have already learned in the class 11th also, but now we are going to learn it in detail, and this time I hope this particular concept will going to clear in all of your mind. So just concentrate whatever I am going to teach you, just listen all the things properly. Fine. So an array is a container which can hold a fixed number of items. That means within an array we can hold and we can store only the fixed number of items, and these items should be of the same type. Why it should be of same type? Because I told you that array is a homogeneous data type. Homogeneous means same type of elements we can store in the array. It is a contiguous memory location holding elements of the same type. Contiguous matlab one after another, that is related, linked one after another. So it is a contiguous memory location which is used to hold the elements of the same type. Why the same type? Again I am telling, because in the array we can store the data which is of same type only. So what all the things an array consists of? First thing, element. Each element stored in an array is called element. That means whatever we are storing in the array, that is known as element. Then index. Each location of the element in an array has a numeric index which is used to identify the element. That means whatever the location in which we use to store the elements in the array, that is known as index. Fine. It will also going to clear in the next slides. If it is not clear what is element, what is index, I will also show some diagram over there, then it will be clear to you. So what is anatomy of an array? The various terms associated with NumPy arrays are follows. What the basic terms we used to use usually with the NumPy, that is 1D, that is one dimensional array. So what is one dimensional array and how it looks like? See, as we have discussed, these all are the elements. Fine. This is the first element, this is second element, this is third element, and this is fourth element. And what is the index? Right now I can say that this 5 is stored at 0 index. Fine. So this is at 1 index, this is second, and this is at third index. So basically in the array your index position is starting from 0. Fine. So here we are going to see that that is your basically demonstration of 1D array, that is one dimensional array. There is a single row, fine, which is having that 4 column, and this is your 0 axis, and it is displaying the array which is having the size 4. Fine. 4 means it is having the 4 elements, but each element start with the index position of 0. So as you can see, axis 0 defines 1D array running across only one row wise with the size as 4, which indicates the number of column as 4. As I told you, this is the single row. Fine. Within this particular row you are able to see these 4 columns. Fine. So basically this is the basic structure of your 1D array, in which you are storing your data and you are running across only the row wise. Fine. And which can be having the multiple columns. Fine. This is the structure of your 1D array. So now see what is 2D array. That is two-dimensional array in which you are able to see that there are 2 axes, that is your 0 axis and that is your 1 axis. Fine. So within this array position you can see the different terms, that is 2 by 3. 2 by 3 means first indicating that number of rows and second indicating the number of columns. That means this array is having 2 rows and 3 columns, and when you will multiply these 2 terms you will get the answer 6. 2 multiplied by 3, 6. So that means in your array you can store that total number of elements which you are going to store in your array can be 6. That means whatever the array you are able to draw over here, that is a multiplication of these 2 numbers. Fine. So that means A 3D array can be of as I have discussed that 4, 7 and 688 we are able to see over here. Then these are kinds of elements. Fine. So how we are going to deal with it, simply how it is going to look, this particular array. Basically this is your row 0 and this is your column 0. Fine. Some students might be having a doubt how we are going to access these elements. Accessing of the element, obviously we will learn it later on, but for now, for this particular thing, I am just going to explain with the help of some example also ki how it is storing your particular data. See students, here I am taking the example of 1D array in which see I have taken this data as row wise, and this we are having 5 column 1 2 3 4 5. So simply the 1D array representation is very simple and it's very clear to all, because in this we are simply storing the data in different kind of in different index position. Like I can see that if I want to fetch this particular 8 and my array name is ARR, so I can write array of 1, then it will give me the answer 8. That means in the particular array at one location, that means at first index, what the element I am having 8 over there, so it will return me the 8 over here. Fine. Now just discuss the thing in case of 2D array, because 1D array is quite simple and clear, and in case of 2D array how it going to be happen, like we in the example we have taken the 2D array which is having 2 rows. So right now I am just creating 2 rows. Fine students, I am just creating 2 rows which are having the 3 columns. Fine. So I am just telling you about the indexes. As I told you, this is your 0 index, this is your 0 index. Fine. This is 1, this is 2 and this is 0. So how we are going to store the index position over here? We are storing the index position 0 of 0. That means this 0 and this 0. 0 of 0, what element you are having? 4 element, that is your element, that is 4 you are having over there. Then next index position will be 0 of 1. So on the 0 of 1 we are having 6, and similarly 0 of 2. On the 0 of 2 what we are having? We are having 8 over there. And then this function again, that will be not 0, it is 1. Fine, because 0 and then we have to write here 1. So that means 1 of 0, that means first row के 0 column पे what value we are having? We are having 7 over there. Fine. And in the next thing, that is the same, 1 index के 1 column पे क्या value है आपके पास? That is 88 in case of my example, and same 1 के 2 पर क्या value है? दैट इज 76. तो बेसिकली ये किस पे वर्क करता है? ये इन इंडेक्सेस पे वर्क करता है. तो अगर आपको ये इंडेक्सेस क्लियर हो जाएंगे कि ये इंडेक्सेस कैसे ड्रॉ करे हैं इसमें, तो आप इजीली इसमें से डेटा या एलिमेंट्स को फैच कर सकते हो. फाइन. सो दिस इज अबाउट योर 2D एरे एंड दिस इज योर 1D एरे. फाइन. सो अब हमारा मल्टी डायमेंशनल एरे की बात होती है. तो मल्टी डायमेंशनल एरे भी हम पढ़ेंगे. अगर हम लिखते हैं 3 into 3 into 3, दैट मीन्स 27 एलिमेंट्स इट विल स्टोर, सो दैट यू कैन display in form of cuboid. Fine. In which you can draw the multiple things at this particular side and multiple elements will be there. So as we have discussed in the Python, we can store multi-dimensional things very easily and very clearly. Fine. So we have come back to our slides. As you can see that means what I was telling you over there. In this particular thing, you can see it is the index of 0 of 0, that is 0 of 1, and this is 0 of 2. This is your first, that particular row. This is your 0 row, this is your first row. So that element will be on first row and at 0 column. This will be of first row and first column, and this will be of first row of second column. Fine. So this the size of this array is 2:3. Next is axis 1, indicating elements across the columns. In 2D array we have both rows as well as columns, and size is 2 or 3. 2 comma 3 means this array is having 2 rows and 3 columns. Fine. So let's move to the next array, that is n-dimensional array. N-dimensional is multi-dimensional array, but here I have taken the example of your 3D array because your multi-dimensional array can be of 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever the requirement it will be there. So as you can see here, that is the first index, that is the second index, and this is the third index. Fine. So basically in this example what we have taken 2 into 3 into 4. Fine. So as you have seen that in the one dimensional array we have seen the array which is having a single row. In the 2D array we have seen the array which is having a row and column, and in the 3D array you can see that cubic type of structure where this kind of elements are there, and this is your second index and this is your third index. Fine. So in this particular array there will be 24 elements are there. 4 to the 8 and 8 3s are 24, because 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4 you will write over there. So that means in this particular 3D array you can store 24 elements. Why? Because I told you the number of elements will depend on the multiplication of your size of array. So this array can be of 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4, which is equal to 24. So in this 3D array you can store 24 elements. So for a multi-dimensional array like a 3D array, there are 3-dimensional running across more than 2 axes, because here you can see there are more than 2 axes, because in the previous example we are having the 2 axes only. Here this is the first axis, this is second axis, and this is your third axis. Fine. So with their sizes of, you can see that 2 into 3 into 4, so that will be give you a 24 elements in this particular whole array. Fine. So let's move to the next slide. Then what are axes? An array can be classified as a single dimensional array or 2-dimensional array, or you can say that multiple dimensional array. As I told you, in the multiple dimensional we have seen the example of 3D array that can be 4D, 5D and so on. Fine. So this particular things can be defined by the axis, as I told you and show you over here. That is first axis, that is second axis, and this is your third axis. Fine. So next thing, rank. The rank of an ND array, that means multidimensional array, is defined by the number of axes it possesses. That means whatever the number of axes your array is having, that is defined your rank also. So we can say that rank is equal to the number of axes. That means if there is 3 axes in the array, that means the rank of your array will be 3. And the shape of the ND array is defined by the number of elements is containing along each of its axes. So basically, as we have seen the example of multi-dimensional array in which we are having 24 elements. In the first axis we are having 2 elements, in the second we are having the 3 elements, and in last we are having the 4 elements. So that total number of elements we are having in an array, that was 24 in the case of that multi-dimensional array. So the shape which has come according to that particular array, as you can see that this is the shape which can come after evaluating the things, that this is 2 rows having 3 columns which are having that 4 phases over there. So that image can be come and depend according to the size which you are going to take. Fine. So these are the 3 things which you will notice basically in case of 2D or 3D arrays. That means multidimensional array, basically you will observe these particular things. Fine. So how you can going to represent the array? Array can be declared in various ways in different languages, because if we are going to talk about C++, the representation of array is different. If we are going to talk about your Python, the representation of array is different. If we are going to define and declare the array in C or Java, so that all the languages are having the different kind of representation of your arrays. Fine. So just see over here, as I have tried to explain you the elements of the array. So first thing which you will observe over here, that is int, that is your type. Which type? That is your basically data type. Which data type it is there? Integer. That means your array can store only the integer values. This is the name of your array. As you can see that I have written the array, that is the name of your array. So what is the name of your array right now? It is array. And this is the size. That means your array can hold the 10 elements. Fine. These all are what? These are the elements which this particular array can hold. So basically, if we are going to define the array, what the things you must keep in mind, that you have to give the type, you have to write the name of your array and size of your array, then you have to define the number of elements in an array. This particular things we used to define in that C++ and Java. And now see over here, as I told you, each particular element is having its own index position. So I have depict only first and last index over there. Like this particular element 2 can be stored on the 0 index, 4 on 1, 5 on second index, and these elements, the last index element is 9. Fine. On the 9 index, what element we are able to find? We will find 55. Fine. So basically what these things are there, these all are the elements of your array, and these are the index position of your particular and this index position depict the location where we have stored this particular element in the array, and at what position we have stored that particular element, and according to the size this particular index positions will be created. Fine. If you are having only the array of size 5, then you can hold only the 5 element, and that index range will be 0 to 4. Fine. So index range will start always with 0 in terms of array. So I hope this example is clear to you, how you are going to declare the array. Next thing is the important point that you must have to remember in terms of array, that each index start with 0. As I told you, in the array, whatever the first index, that is always start with a 0. Then next point, array length is 10, which means it can store 10 elements. In my example, I have taken the length of the array 10. I also told you, if your length of the array is 5, that means your array can have only 5 elements. Fine. In your case, if your array is having 7 length, that means your array can store 7 elements. But in case of 7 length, that means your array will start from 0 index and the end index will be 6, in case of when you are having the length 7. In my case, I have taken the array length is 10, where the first index is 0 and the last index was 9, sorry. So last things is, each element can be accessed via its index, because in the array, how we are going to retrieve the data from the arrays, we are going to get the data with the help of index numbers. So whatever the element I am having in my array, I have to just write the index number, then after I can get the data which is present on that particular index number, as we have already discussed over here. Just see the example once again. As I told you, if I want to search the array of 5, array of 5 means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means on the 5th index I am having 65 over here. If I am going to talk about index 1, on the index 1 I am having the 4 element, that is 4. If we are going to about index 9, so on index 9 you are having the data, that is 55. Hope it's clear to all. So next point is, each element can access via its index, that we have already discussed. And the last thing is, NumPy is used to implement all operations that are performed using array. Fine. So in the NumPy we can use it to implement all the operations which we are performing using the arrays also. So all those operations we will learn in the next video. So student, that's it about this particular session. I hope you learned the basic of arrays, what is array, what is different types of array, how we are going to store the elements in an array. Fine. and if you like this particular video, then obviously press the like button, and if you have not subscribed the channel yet, you can subscribe the channel, and do share this video with your friends so that they can also learn the different things about the programming. And those who are having especially the course informatic practices of class 12, this video is very helpful for them. So do share. Just keep learning, students. Thank you for watching.